Welcome to Money Talks, the ultimate financial news upload, where knowledge meets in Parliament join the money getter duo, CC and Cecil B, as we unravel the mysteries of finance Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. From the latest in fintech, cryptocurrencies, real estate, electric vehicles, IPOs, and Wall Street, to the rise of robotics and AI, we cover it all. So tune in as we share in the spotlight on how Black entertainers and creators alike are shaping finance and tackling IPOs, giving you the information you need to thrive in today's economy. This is Money Talks.
Good evening. Today, to kick off Black History Month, we will be talking about a different story of Black wealth. When we talk about the history of Black wealth creation in America, almost always involves a sad story, one that frequently involves violence, deprivation, and disenfranchisement. The narrative is of course found in the wake of slavery, the Civil War, and Jim Crow. Black Americans were routinely prevented from accessing the resources we needed to develop and pass on the law. By love, I mean so much more than just cash. Wealth is a sum of in total individuals' economic access, opportunities, resources, and assets. A healthy bank account is no doubt an important element, but so are housing, education, healthcare, community services, and any number of resources that help ensure financial success and personal fulfillment. The political and economic disenfranchisement of Black Americans demonstrably crippled our community's ability to grow and acquire wealth over time. Generations of Black citizens didn't want to wait for the government to hand them opportunities. They scraped and hustled to make down. The opportunities for acquiring and maintaining wealth have grown with each passing year, but at the same time, it can be hard to maintain an optimistic attitude when Black founders continue to pull in less than 1% of the venture capital allocated last year. How can we celebrate all the progress we've made when the statistics show that Black wealth seems to retain so many structural disadvantages? Mary Ellen Pleasant was a Black entrepreneur and an abolitionist who championed the equivalence of personal enrichment and community advancement. Around 1850, she left to seek her fortunes in the newly formed state of California. Pleasant planned to work as a cook and domestic fare because there was a dire shortage of women heading west. When she arrived with a considerable net worth from her first marriage already in tow, there was a bidding war among prominent citizens to hire her as a cook in their homes. Mary Ellen knew from her childhood spent in service work that access to certain households came with perks, most importantly in a new state rifle with economic speculation. Over time, she became a millionaire, having invested early in California's economy. Railroads, oil companies, restaurants, and even both First Wells Fargo Bank all featured in Pleasant's portfolio. Throughout it all, she was a consistent supporter of abolition, slave rebellions, emancipation, and desegregation. She was one of a number of Black entrepreneurs who diverted significant funds towards supporting freedom fighters. But as a woman of color, Pleasant was limited in her avenues to economic independence. It was often difficult to make investments in her own name, and she eventually devised various workarounds. For example, while she could publicly insist that she was merely a cook or servant, she simultaneously worked her way with her white employers to facilitate her investments. That's how influential her opinion was. And years later, she entered into a highly lucrative partnership with a man named Thomas Bowles, and the two amassed millions of the 19th century dollars and in the 1870s and 1880s. With this growing fortune, Pleasant built herself a handsome 30-room mansion in San Francisco and became a local celebrity. Eventually, after Bell died, his wife sued for control of his estate. Many of the investments Pleasant had made with Bell were in his name, and when the judge ruled in his wife's favor, Pleasant's wealth was diminished, though not extinguished. Mary Ellen Pleasant is the perfect example of how some Black people were able to overcome the political, economic, and generally racist and disadvantages that hampered their wealth creation. She was an exceptional businesswoman who used her natural ability to connect with people to invest in California's booming economy and brokered deals for others. W.E.B. Du Bois would later write she was one of the shrewdest business minds in the state. By the time of her death, in 1904, the U.S. was busy trying to grow up the era of slavery and the universal disenfranchisement of Black communities. Pleasant lived cleverly and somewhat covertly, inventing many stories to help explain her money. In the next century, however, Black wealth would emerge into a more public view, pushing some to the heights of luxury while punishing many more with anti-Black retaliation.
34 Listening Library YouTube channel for self-help shorts and audiobooks. Follow us on Instagram at 734 Miscellaneous LLC to continue our journey of growth and success together. I'll see you at the top. Holla.